250 action, Houston, Texas. Round 5. Let's cut to the chase. No, we're not talking about 450s. We're talking about the little bikes. 250s. Deegan comes home with a 4th. Surprise! Almost is the best rider on Star Yamaha. I believe every man has to have the ability to change their view based on new information. Regardless of what happened to Tom Vialle, I'll get into that later in the video, and other riders in the main event, Deegan finished 4th. So for that, I have to actually apologize that I had a live stream where we talked to nauseam about how well he was going to do and potentially was he prepared, was he not prepared. I was debating on both sides of him not really being prepared because of his futures finishing a 5th. Yes, he went down. There were circumstances, variables that happened in that race. His speed is there. But the question that everybody was asking is, could he do it over a 15-minute main event? And he answered unequivocally, yes, that he could get the job done. Do I feel that the little SOB was sketchy at times? Oh, absolutely. But he got the job done. I am proud of him. And truthfully, with a rider of his caliber, he has unlimited resources because of his social media following. I mean that in the form of compared to any other rider that has paved the path for his success, his father, etc. He has a lot more resources at his disposal because of the sheer fact of his public figure. He is a brand. And I believe that this is going to go one of two ways. He is going to be successful into the capacity of winning championships, or it's going to be a huge flop. However, I'm leaning towards the former, and I wish him the best. And it's going to be incredibly hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be a hard tribulation for the young man because of what he brings to the sport. And nobody has done it. Yes, there's been guys that have paved the path for his success, aka his father. He knows how to get the job done. But this is an entirely different situation because of the brand and following he has behind him. Honestly, it's wonderful to behold and watch it happen in real time because this is changing the sport. This is leveling up the sport to an even further elite status and professionalism because of what he brings to the races. And for that, it's going to be very hard for him. And I wish him the utmost success. It might be a half of a decade or more until another rider of his caliber and his following comes in play. But he is paving the road. He is the first one through the door to get this done. In a silly way, whether it's jealousy or admiration, he has been given the baton to lead the charge for gathering this big of a following on social media and putting it into Supercross. So for that, I think we have to be behind him and we have to wish him the best. Do I think things are going to be easier for him? To a certain extent. He's not going to have certain roadblocks that somebody that isn't of his caliber on the internet. However, it is also going to be harder for him because if anyone has been involved in an online chat, they know that the internet is a dark, dark place.
You suck. You suck.
Yes, there is so much good that comes from it. However, there is certain things with human emotion and psychology that come into play. If this rider, Hayden Deegan, doesn't perform and it gets to a negative aspect towards his following, it could be detrimental to him mentally. And again, that's where I'm going back to, he's got to have a good team around him. And I'm sure his father has put in places for stuff. You could say good or bad about pretty much anyone on the internet. Truth of the fact of the matter is, the little man came up, ponied up, showed up, got 4th, proved he could get it done. I don't try to be negative. Sometimes it's difficult for me to articulate my point of view and have it come off the way I would like it to come off. And my point is you can't falter Hayden for cheating a system that is already broken. And what I mean by that is the futures. Do I believe that a rider that finishes 5th or inside the top 10 in futures has a factory ride should the next weekend be able to almost podium a supercross race and get inside the top 10, qualify top 10? No, I think that is broken. The futures class is supposed to be sort of a college ball, and you shouldn't have 5 or so riders that could come in on any given day to a professional supercross and be inside the top 10. There's a difference between amateur and professional, and truthfully, amateurs practice until they get it right, and professionals practice so they don't get it wrong. And there is a skewed line between amateur and professional that has gone on for a decade. And there needs to be a more solid line to that. And I believe that is like limiting the age for a professional to 18, and so riders have to go through school and they can have a plan B if something doesn't work out. You know, maybe that's a little bit of the liberal in me. Yes, it's crazy that I'm even saying that. The things I have seen with riders having nothing afterwards, it's sad. If I'm talking about another one of the rookies, Chance, I thought Chance was smoother. However, his fitness wasn't quite there. Deegan proved that his fitness got him through the race. Those whoops were gnarly. Absolutely gnarly. And truthfully, I want everybody in the comments below, speak your piece, right? This is a big topic, and it's important to watch that history is being written as I speak about the sport. It's exciting. You just have to have a different perspective on what is going on. And yes, you've got to put your ego in check and the jealousy, whatever behind you. The little shit has worked his ass off, and it's proving that he can get the job done. There was really good riders at the Supercross for the East Coast. Yes, Hunter came out on top. You can't really compare Hunter to anyone besides his brother Jet, and Jet wins that 100% of the time. It's unfortunate. That's just where it is. Hunter needs to get the championship done. I think there's a few riders that can roadblock him, and one of them is Tom Vialle. Why don't people bet on him? He has made a massive sacrifice and have betted on himself by not defending the MX2 championship, by not racing the MXGP, by not racing West, by trying to be ready for East. And it showed that by leading half the race, that the only chink in his armor is not his ability to ride the bike on a supercross track, to stay smooth, to be consistent. It is the whoops. He struggled in the whoops. Plain and simple. We're going to see some podiums, and I believe a win or two out of Tom this season. Be prepared for it. Hopper stamped it. It's where we're going with it. Max Anstie. Dude, Firepower Honda. There is a massive swing here, which I love, between factory bikes and semi-factory bikes. The gap has dwindled. You used to have Pro Circuit leading the charge, where those bikes were quite a bit better. Then you had a little bit of swing with Geico bikes being a little bit better. Then you had the Star Yamaha bikes leading the charge by being exponentially better than other bikes. Now you've got another Yamaha Club MX. Their bikes are pretty damn good. This Australian team, World Supercross team, Firepower Honda, are proving, hey, we're just as good. We're getting there. Max Anstie comes out, fastest qualifier, finishes second, almost could have won the race. That second isn't huge. If you saw him on the podium, he might as well have won. Find it interesting that there is a lot of World Supercross teams that are racing Supercross. They're going to be Supercross all year long, because Supercross is going to start midway through motocross. You've got Wick Rare, you've got HEP Suzuki, the progressive with Kenny, which probably may not continue to be. I digress. You've got Firepower Honda, Club MX. It's not by coincidence that they are there. They are practicing, getting ready for World Supercross. I want to know your guys' opinion. Make sure you tune in to this channel. It is growing exponentially. I love everybody that has decided to hit the subscribe, the notification bell. It is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. SOBs, I mean that wholeheartedly, just like what I was calling Hayden at the beginning of this video. And stay tuned for the live show every Friday at noon Pacific time. Till next time. Whoa.